School let out early for a lot of students yesterday, especially those in Buncombe County. That was due to that first round of winter weather
that we were just talking about. In fact, News 13's Ingrid Allsteadt is live in Asheville. Ingrid, any lingering effects from that storm on the roads where you are now?
Well, enough for Buncombe County schools to now be on a 2-hour delay. And I have this trusty little app on my iPhone here that I recommend everyone download. What this is has all of the listings for schools. Also, it's mentioning at the top here that the Asheville transit system is also on a 2-hour delay. So let's take a live look at the roads right now so you know what you're working with. Yes, they're actually very dry. You can see this white van going past here. It's not having any trouble. Even cars without four-wheel drive not having any trouble. But I am told that you may hit a slick spot, okay? It's 30 degrees outside right now. So those wet spots last night, of course, we tell you this all the time. You may encounter black ice this morning, so please be careful. But the good news is no weather-related accidents at this point this morning. It is not snowing right now in Asheville, but of course DOT trucks are on standby. I saw a truck drive by earlier today. They didn't really have to do much because there's no snow on the road. Once the snow starts to hit the ground, they will head out with those trucks and they will continue to pull up the snow from the roads. Everywhere we went this morning, on our way to work, on the way to the live shot, it looked okay. Please take it easy, though, in case you hit some of that black ice. But I believe it is snowing in the Upstate. Let's get a check with Evan right now.
Yeah, thanks, Ingrid. As you can see right over my shoulder, we've got a spreader leaving the city of Greenville's sand and salt yard right now. We have 7 spreaders here in the city of Greenville, and they've just started to leave the yard. Also have a salt and brine truck, 2 of those that just started to leave the yard. They did some pre-sanding and treating of the roads yesterday afternoon, evening around 6:30 to 7 o'clock, doing most of the bridges around the city of Greenville, making sure that they had some traction on them. But they've just now started to leave the yard this morning. As you can see, it's actually a lot less loud right now than it was just a second ago. So they've just started to leave the yard, trying to get ahead of this winter storm. As you can probably tell, it just started snowing. We did a hit about 30 minutes ago and showed you some of the great supplies you should keep in your car. There was no precipitation at that point. Now there is. So it's just starting to snow here in Greenville. Because the roads were dry up until this point, they have decided to salt and brine the roads. It needs to be dry for them to do that in order for that brine to get in there and dry up, thereby raising the freezing temperature of the roads. You also saw that spreader leave, which you can just see taking off over there in the distance. That is going to be spreading a mixture of salt and sand. It's a 2-to-1 ratio of 2 parts sand to 1 part salt. Again, same thing. That helps give the roads some traction and also raises that freezing temperature to help make them a little bit more safe. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, we're going to have another list of things for you to keep in your car in case you get stranded, to make sure that you're safe no matter what happens. For now, reporting live in Greenville, I'm Evan Donovan, News 13.
We do have live team coverage this morning from the mountains to the Upstate.
Let's begin with Ashlea Surles in Haywood County, where the snow is expected to be very heavy. Ashley, what are the roads looking like right now?
Jay, they're actually looking clear right now, but I'm told overnight there was actually an accident on Phi Top Road near Cataloochee. That's in Maggie Valley. The dispatcher said, it wasn't bad, it was minor, but they're warning folks this morning to look out for black ice. And that's especially a concern out here because of what happened yesterday. Especially in these western counties, areas really got hammered yesterday. Snow came down and in some places really stuck even more than many were expecting it to. You can see here some footage from yesterday. Salt trucks out, prepping the roads before the snow and even after the snow. I think later yesterday evening they were out. There was some very slow-moving traffic yesterday that even some of our staff got caught in here in Haywood County. Slow traffic, bad roads with snow piling up, an inch or so sticking to the roads. Now, right now, Highway Patrol says in these western counties, hit hardest yesterday. All state roads are passable right now. Some secondaries still with a little bit on it. The 911 center here says nothing to speak of in terms of accidents or problem spots right now. But of course, when I called, he said that, and then he said, well, don't jinx it. And again, here in downtown Waynesville, the roads aren't looking too bad. We drove from Asheville to here this morning. The main roads, the interstates are looking fine. But if we can actually pan down here, you can see there's accumulation on the sidewalk. And to be honest, I actually slipped just a little while ago. Thank God it wasn't on camera. But there's some snow, there's some slush that's building up in parking lots, on the edges of roads, on sidewalks, but it's also on secondary roads. And the fear now is that when the snow comes, this is going to be buried. This slush is then going to turn to ice. So that's a real concern going into this afternoon when snow, as Julie said, is expected to start, and it's going to be heavy out here. That's what they're saying. And we started this morning at 4 o'clock. As the storm hits, we've got live team coverage. We started this morning at 4. We'll be out here tomorrow at 4, as well as Thursday. As the storm bears down, we'll be bringing you live coverage with updated conditions throughout the day. Reporting live here in Waynesville, Ashlea Surles, News 13.
And of course, as we mentioned, many of the schools are closed. Remember, you can stay up to date with News 13 text alerts.
Sign up at WLOS.com and you will get updates on your smartphone. We are also updating the list of closings and delays at the bottom of your screen and on our website.
You know, Haywood County telling us this morning also that they had a wreck overnight near the Maggie Valley area. Be very careful out there. Be careful of slick spots, matter of fact, all over western North Carolina. That's also what folks in Buncombe County are saying this morning. Absolutely.
News 13's Ingrid Allsteadt has been surveying the roads and continues our live team coverage. Ingrid, what have you seen out there?
And Jay, black ice. That's what I'm seeing. I'm on a pedestrian bridge over I-240, and look at what we have. I'll have my photographer been down here. Very slick conditions. Now, keep in mind, this, yes, is a pedestrian bridge. I saw a gentleman drive his bike over this just a few moments ago. He did okay, but this is just an example of what secondary roads may look like. If you're trying to leave your home, please take it easy. Now, I want to show you I-240 right now. As you can see, traffic is moving smoothly, and it looks like it's pretty clear out there. I drove along 240, 26 today. It was clear, so those main roads not looking too bad. But once again, DOT and Highway Patrol told me earlier today there have been no major weather-related accidents, no big problems. DOT is on standby for when it snows again later on this morning, possibly this afternoon, and of course later on this week. And as Ashley mentioned, we have team coverage all morning, not only today but all week long, starting at 4 a.m. tomorrow, our news. So make sure you wake up early with us again. Reporting live in Buncombe County, I'm Ingrid Allsteadt, News 13.
The snowstorm is major. The Upstate is gearing up for a direct hit as well. That's where News 13's Evan Donovan picks up our team coverage.
So, Evan, what does it look like out your way?
Well, Holly, it's really starting to come down. Like in the last 30 minutes, it's actually a pretty heavy snowfall, big sort of heavy, wet snowflakes, and it's gotten a lot colder. It is, Julie's dead on. It's about 35 degrees here now. That's a good drop of 8 or so degrees from where it was. Now, it's pretty quiet in the maintenance yard of the city of Greenville here now. Trucks are just starting to return. I want to show you some video of when they were leaving, which was about 30 minutes ago. They had some salt brine trucks out there, 2 of those from the city of Greenville. They were getting out to try and pre-treat the roads and lower that freezing point, get that salt in there to try and on those dry roads so that they could actually dry that salt and lower that freezing point. They also sent out a bunch of the spreaders spreading that sand and salt mixture, 2-to-1 sand to salt, again with the same idea, try to increase the traction and lower that freezing point so when this precipitation does hit, it actually doesn't freeze the roads as quickly. As you can tell now, it is snowing pretty heavily. It's actually started to lighten up here in the past 15 minutes. There was a spread there for about 30 minutes where it was coming down pretty hard, but it is much colder. The ground, it's still pretty wet. When it hits the ground, it's not really freezing yet. I think that's because we're still above freezing temperature. So still pretty easy in terms of getting around right now. Not as slippery or slidey as it is up in Asheville. Now, coming up in the next half hour, we're going to show you some things that you should keep in your car in case you get stranded in this cold weather. We'll have that coming up for you in the next half hour. For now, reporting live in Greenville, I'm Evan Donovan, News 13.
We continue our team coverage with a look at totals across the mountains and the upstate. News 13's Ingrid Allsteadt is in Asheville, Ashlea Surles is in Waynesville, and Evan Donovan is in Greenville.
Let's begin with Ingrid, who's here to tell us some more about the black ice that's lingering on the mountain road. So, Ingrid, what's it look like where you are this morning?
It looks okay, Holly, but I do want to show you what I'm standing by. It's some of that ice we've been talking about. I'm on a pedestrian bridge over I-240 right now. So the problem is this could be lingering right outside your driveway when you try to pull out of your house this morning to head to work or possibly school, any appointments. Please take it easy. Now, I want to show you what 240 looks like right now. People are driving pretty fast, and I wouldn't recommend that because, yes, it looks clear out there, and it is clear because DOT treated these roads, but what if you do hit some of that black ice? All it takes is one little patch, and you go sliding off of the road. No major accidents today. DOT says not weather-related, at least. We've been checking surrounding counties as well for you this morning. Madison and Yancey are not reporting any problems at this hour. Mitchell County dispatchers tell us roads there are wet and black ice is a concern. They are also adding additional staff in the coming days to help answer any emergency calls. And please stay with us here on News 13. We have those school closings, delays for you at the bottom of your screen right now. We're also continuing to monitor the roads as the snow starts to fall later today and in the coming days. Reporting live in Buncombe County, Ingrid Allsteadt, News 13.
Most area schools are closed or delayed today as a result of the weather. You can get the latest up-to-the-date information with our News 13 text alert.
Sign up at WLOS.com and you will get the updates on your smartphone. We are also updating the list of closings and delays right now at the bottom of your screen and, of course, on our website, WLOS.com. We'll now pick up our team coverage with Ashlea Surles, who is in Haywood County.
Ashley, what's happened out there overnight?
Jay, not much going on right now. I'm told overnight there was an accident, and it was on Phi Top Road. That's in Maggie Valley near Cataloochee. The dispatcher said not a big issue, not a major accident. It was minor, but they're warning about black ice this morning, which could have caused that accident last night. That's especially a concern out here because of what happened yesterday, of course, especially in these western counties. They really got hammered yesterday. Even some of our news staff got caught in bad traffic on bad roads yesterday afternoon in Haywood County. Now, as of just a few minutes ago, Highway Patrol said in these western counties hit hardest yesterday. All state roads are passable right now. They're warning folks about the secondaries later today, but right now everything's looking okay. The 911 center here says they're not dealing with any accidents either or problem spots really this morning. But of course, when I called, the dispatcher said, he told me that, and then he said, but hey, don't jinx it. So they're crossing their fingers there as well as this storm gets ready to bear down. Now, here in downtown Waynesville, not much traffic. We haven't seen any plow trucks, any salt trucks, anything like that right now. It's pretty quiet, but the roads are also not looking too bad. We traveled here from Asheville. Not too many slick spots. We, of course, didn't see any accidents, but I'll show you if we can pan down here. You can see the snow, and you can see a little bit of slush building up here. It's on the edges of the roads. It's in places like parking lots, like your driveway, on sidewalks. Not a huge concern, but it's also on secondary roads that haven't quite cleared yet. And as this snow starts to fall this afternoon, this is a fear it could be a problem that this gets buried underneath the snow, and that's what'll be ice, and that's what'll make driving conditions really bad going into the next few days. And as the storm bears down, we're going to have live team coverage tomorrow morning starting at 4 a.m., Thursday morning at 4 a.m. to cover everything for you and have updating conditions throughout the day and, of course, starting first thing in the morning. So stay with us here on WLOS. We'll bring you live coverage. Reporting live in downtown Waynesville, Ashlea Surles, News 13.
We continue our live team coverage now with Evan Donovan in Greenville.
So, Evan, right now, how do the roads look where you are?
Well, the roads are looking fine. This snow that's coming down, actually the wind's really starting to pick up, but the snow that's coming down, it's this heavy, fat snowflakes, really wet, but it's hitting the ground and melting. The ground's not really cold enough yet to get any accumulation. We'll show you this right over here. It's really just hitting these surfaces and melting, turning into a lot of wetness. You know, we're at the the City of Greenville's maintenance yard here in Greenville. This is where these trucks leave from. The salt and sand spreaders leave from here. They left about an hour ago. Still out on the roads pre-treating, as well as those brine trucks. They did a pre-treating of the bridges and the slick spots last night around 6:37. They're doing another round right now. You know, a lot of people were really concerned a couple of weeks ago after we got hit with that bad snow, particularly in the south. We don't really handle snow that well, and a lot of people saw that Atlanta got really backed up and gridlocked. A lot of scary stuff happened right there. So we're going to go through a list of things you should keep in your car that can help you in case you get stranded. First thing, you got jumper cables. Also want to keep some car fuses if you've got any of those in case something goes wrong electrically in your car. You want to keep some spare food items, non-perishables. We've got almonds, we've got granola bars here, peanut butter. I've got Gatorade and some other fluids like a gallon of water. That'll help keep you hydrated in case it's a long time before you can get back to your house or wherever you get stranded from. You want to keep some rags or some paper towels in your car for cleanup or any other things that might happen to you. In terms of your car, you want to get some more windshield wiper fluid that can help you clean off your your windshields and help with visibility, as well as your ice scraper. Safety-wise, you want to make sure you've got some safety vests and also a set of flares or reflective triangles that you can help to put out in the roadway if you get stranded on the side. First aid kit, you should always keep one of those no matter if it's wintertime or summertime. You've also got an ice scraper, your flashlight, a cell phone with extra batteries if you can, a spare set of clothes, and a blanket to stay warm. Those are some items that you should keep in your car at all times. There's a list of those on WLOS.com that comes to us from AAA in Colorado. Being in the mountains, it's important that we do what they do, or a good idea to do what they do to keep in your car. We've also got a list of driving tips from AAA Carolinas on our website. Don't forget to stay with News 13 tomorrow and Thursday, 4 a.m. coverage, special time that we're starting throughout the upstate and the mountains. We've got you covered throughout this winter storm. Reporting live in Greenville, I'm Evan Donovan, News 13.
Let's check back in with our live reporters in Asheville, Waynesville, and Greenville this morning.
That's right. We begin with Ingrid Allsteadt. Ingrid, any more reports of black ice?
You know, I was on a pedestrian bridge earlier, Jay, and yes, there was ice. That's a covered area, of course. It was really, really cold last night. It is still cold. We're in the 30s right now. Snow is still on the ground. This is, of course, from yesterday. It didn't fall last night, so the roads are mostly clear. DOT was out treating these all day yesterday. They're on standby right now for whatever changes may come. Of course, we have more snow in the forecast, so very quickly things could change. I'm standing near I-240. Behind me, you can see traffic is moving smoothly, and actually people are driving, it looks like, at a normal speed. I don't really recommend that because, yes, you could hit some of that black ice and you can't see it. So one little patch, you'll slide off the road, dangerous conditions. And it's not just like that here in Buncombe County. All across western North Carolina, experiencing these conditions, including in Haywood County, where Ashlea Surles is live now. Hi, Ashley.
Hey, thanks, Ingrid. Yeah, we're here in Haywood County right now. We're in downtown Waynesville. Haywood County roads looking okay right now, but overnight there was an accident on Five Top Road near Cataloochee. That's in Maggie Valley. Dispatchers say it was minor, but you gotta be careful of black ice, which could have played a role in the accident last night. It's especially a concern because of what they got here yesterday, especially in those western counties. They got hammered yesterday with quite a bit of snow. As of just a few minutes ago, Highway Patrol says roads right now are fine. There are no major problem spots. The Emergency Operations Center down here also says the same thing. No major accidents or problem spots. But, of course, he told me that, and then he also said, please don't jinx it. So they're keeping their fingers crossed here. It's just a matter of time before this storm hits. And if you can look down here, there's snow on the ground. Slush is already built up. Now, the main roads are clear. But again, the snow, when it snows this afternoon, it's going to pile on. This could turn into ice, which is what my colleague Evan Donovan is actually dealing with in the Upstate, where it's actually already started snowing. Evan?
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Ashley. We've come in from out of the cold, and we're here at the City of Greenville's Emergency Operations Center. I want to get out of the way so you can see what's going on here. These guys have created a system where they're centralizing all of the planning here. All the salt trucks, the sand and salt spreaders, all of that is centralized from this planning organization. And you can see up here on this television screen in the back of the room there, this is an area where they can track via GPS not only where all of their trucks are, but also where police and fire calls are. So they've actually got a way of looking at everything and what's going on across the entire Greenville area, so they can see what's happening and where the requests are coming in. Requests come in not only to police dispatch, but they also get calls here directly sometimes for steep grades or slippery bridges, slippery roads that need to be worked on, and they can put that into a system and track it starting this year and be able to go back in the future years. They'll be able to go back in years past and see see where and when they needed the most work. Don't forget to stay with News 13 both tomorrow and Thursday. We're going to be live starting in the morning show at 4 a.m. throughout the morning in the Upstate and all throughout the mountains. We've got your coverage throughout this entire winter storm. News 13 is the place to get the up-to-date information. For now, reporting live in Greenville, I'm Evan Donovan with News 13.